I do not understand why we are gathered here actually doing forensic. We're literally just waiting for their death. So I'm just like, that is such a depressing environment for me. I cannot function well in that environment. I honestly, the best way to get students to be on their toe is to grill their asses. Teachers that are kind of, doctors that are kind of like calm on us, it doesn't work. In today's video, I will be talking about how my semester has been, and this is actually a regular on this channel, and if you've not seen the previous videos, you should definitely check them out. So hello, my name is Nancy. If you're seeing my face for the first time, and if you're not, thank you for still being here. Today's video is going to be very chilled, nothing serious. I'm just going to give a rundown of my semester, okay? And if you enjoyed this video, let me know, and yeah, we can go from there. I don't have a single script, and I'll just be talking, as it comes to me. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of courses I've done and how I feel or how I felt about some of them, and we can go from there. You might be a medical student in my school or another school, but yeah, you can compare and contrast based on some of the things I'm willing to share. I need to say this. I feel like I want to be brutally honest about certain things, but I don't want to also say some things and kind of deter or make other people scared based on my opinion. Just my personal opinion. There are a couple of things that I'm not very satisfied with my school. There are a couple of things, but that is not something I'm really going to go into in this video. But yeah, it kind of ties into the video as well, but I will try to spare you the details. So yeah, so this semester I'm doing a lot of courses, actually a lot. So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I'm doing 10 different courses. That's a lot. I have a few courses that are actually from semesters lower than my current semester. If you don't know, I'm a transfer student. I didn't start from year one here, and I came here in my third year. And yes, so that's just where I'm at right now. So there are some courses that I have not been able to do, and I'm slowly getting to them actually. So that's just like where I'm at. So the course I'm actually doing is a communications course for I think it's like first or second semester. I don't even know, but yeah. So that course it's basically just talking about patient interaction, how to speak to your patients, picking up on verbal and non-verbal cues from your patients. It's just a very simple course actually. And I'm not at this point, I don't know when you guys will see this video, but at the point that I'm filming this video, I am not done with the course, but I will be done in no time. So yes, the course is easy. The teacher, he definitely knows what he's doing. He really does know what he's doing, and tell me why I said he. And he's very interactive. Is very, very interactive, and he does have a lot of students, so I feel like that's a lot for him to go by and actually sit and ask students if they really have questions. I mean, he does that, but I feel like you can't really touch every single person because there are a lot of us, like a lot. I think there are a lot of groups, if I'm not wrong. There are a lot of groups. I'm just checking my phone. There are 5 groups. In my group in particular, we're over 40. So that's a lot of students. So yeah, I can imagine him not really knowing who is who, but I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, the course is really easy. It's not my current semester course, so it's not something I'm really pressed about, being that I've gone far. And yeah, hoping to still pass it, because I can sit here and say, oh, I passed it, it's not difficult, and that overconfidence can seep out, and then somehow you end up getting a score you don't want. So that's not what I want. So yeah, that course, it's fine. I don't really have a problem with it. And then we did forensic. I do not understand why we are gathered here actually doing forensic. In the beginning, it felt very pointless. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to invest my energy and my time to this course, because I don't know, I just mentally, I was just not even trying to get there. But eventually, when the course, you know, continued, I started to understand and see how important it actually really is. I mean, I have no interest in being a forensic pathologist, not even the slightest bit. Yeah, no. But yes, I definitely understand the importance of the course, and I would say that the material was actually a lot. Like, it was so much, there was so much to actually run through in such a limited time frame, which is crazy. Like, we literally had 2 or 3 weeks, and we had to cover like more than 70% of the textbook that we're using, more than or up to 70% of the textbook, and that was a lot. But the good thing is, the way my timetable is set up, I ensure that I was keeping it spaced out. I'm like, the things I did in my, you know, previous semester, where I'll be having like 2 or 3 courses in a day, I'm like, devil, not today. Nah, because that allows you to be very stressed. You don't have time to study. You don't have time to really assimilate the material, if I'm being honest. So thankfully, I think we had like 2 courses at once that period, but it was the end of one other course, so it was very bearable to a certain degree. And then yeah, forensic came and went. For forensic, I'm trying to see what I can rate it from me this semester, not as a course. For me, I would give it a 7 out of 10, just because I would give it a 7 out of 10. It was great, but yeah, I'm just like, sometimes all these things, I feel like, oh, why are they stressing us? Like I said, I understand the importance, but I'm just like, please, can we get it? These things that we are taught is actually important, especially if a body is brought in DOA. So yeah, it just depends. If it's not as a result of a crime, yes, it can be brought into a hospital, DOA. But besides that, I'm pretty sure it will be left at the crime scene, where a pathologist would review, you know, the body. So yeah, maybe I would give it an 8. I would give it an 8. I don't think it was horrible, but it's just not my favorite. It has not been, or it was not my favorite course this semester, like, at all. I still currently have like I think 2 courses I'm yet to conclude on. I'm really finishing the semester very early, and I'm thankful that that is happening. Another thing is not just the semester finishing early, finishing well. That is paramount. So it's important that I finish well. So fingers crossed, and by God's grace, actually. Oh, all right. So we did oncology and palliative care. I kind of want to talk about this a little extensively. I have a vlog, but I don't think it has actually been edited as I filmed this current video. But I will have to edit that. But I did make a short on it, so you should definitely check out the short. And I think it's called The Joys of Medical School. It shall be linked here, or here, I think here. So with palliative care, I remember when we were going through the rounds, I remember we were going through the wards, and I was just thinking, like, I can't do this branch. I can't do this as a specialty. I can absolutely not. Absolutely not. I cannot. In that video, I don't know if I said that, but it's actually very depressing being in palliative care, just knowing that these people will never get better, and these patients will never get better and you're literally just waiting for their death. So I'm just like, that is such a depressing environment for me. I cannot function well in that environment. Like when I was there, I was just feeling so woozy. I was like, nah, get me out of here. So yeah, with palliative care, I think it's interesting, but as a course, it's very boring. As a course, it's so boring. I have to say that it's so boring. But it's not as a course that really counts. I mean, it's important for you to get the foundation. But besides the foundation, I definitely feel like in real time in the ward, I don't think I can properly articulate what I'm trying to say. But I surely did not like the environment. I'm like, there's no way. But, our doctor was able to explain how, it works and how a lot of people are even able to afford it here. And I thought that was so cool. The government does take a huge portion of, the government is responsible for most of the patients financially, because I thought that was very, very cool. Very cool. I'm saying cool, but I can say that because I think now I'm like, I don't know back home if I've ever really heard of a nursing home or a hospice home in Nigeria. If you know of any, like I'm happy to. I've never heard of any back home. So it's definitely very different. And just hearing that, the government is taking responsibility for some patients. But from the cases we got to see, I think like 80% of the patients were being taken care of by the government. So that was I think it was cool, because some people can be there for less than 6 months, some 3 months, some 2 months, some, under a year, definitely, but it's a lot of expense. And for family, that would be a lot. So I thought that was very cool. And I did palliative care and oncology together. So I don't know. I didn't really find it interesting, but my doctor was, obviously she was very involved in our class, and she was so encouraging. If you did the slightest thing, she was just like, cheering you on, and I thought that was very sweet. I mean, we're not here to receive the sweetness of our lecturers, but it's nice that she was like cheering us on, and then speaking to us and correcting when it was necessary. But as a course, I don't know if I would consider it very interesting, but it's such an essential part of medicine, especially oncology. It's so important. So it was obviously very important that I put my head down and focus on that. You feel me? So yes, and during that period, I used a lot of pathoma to also like study for my class. And just because I feel like when you're in class and then when you get home and you have to study and read, especially when you have such a short period of time to take in the lecture and then go back to school and then present the material, it's definitely different. I don't know if it's me. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yes, oncology and palliative care. Honestly, which did I enjoy more? It has to be oncology. Palliative care, I say that with my full chest. It's such a boring course. It's such a boring course, but it's essential. So both of them together, I would say it's also an 8 out of 10. And yeah, I really did, like my lecturer and the doctor that took us for this course. So I'm going to be talking on, there's one course I haven't done yet, and that's on nutrients. We're going to be doing that. It's what I'm actually starting like very soon. So I'll probably have to come back and update you guys on that as my part 2 for end of the semester review, if we can call it that. Oh my god, another one I want to talk about is lab medicine. I ended up doing this and where the hospital was so far away, bro. Did I vlog this period? Oh yes, I did vlog, and you guys will get to see that. I really liked the teacher. She was, you see, the best way to get students to be on their toe is to grill their asses. Teachers that are doctors that are kind of like calm on us, it doesn't work. I mean, it's nice to be chill with us, but I promise you, grilling our asses is better, because you know you're not sleeping well at night when you know they're probably going to drop a question on you that you're probably not expecting. So you're like, I better go through this material properly before they drop a bomb on me. So she definitely grilled our asses. Oh my god, like, oh, that's not what I wrote. That's not what's in the material. You guys need to study. La 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 la. So I like teachers like that, low-key. I feel like they are kind of etched in your memory. Like, you can't forget them. You can't forget them because they're like tough, and it's like tough love at the end of the day. And this type of things where you are active in class, they're like aware of students that participate. It's not even all the time, because I've heard my classmates complain about some other teachers not being very fair, but that's topic for another day. So yeah, like, she was very firm on us. And then I think there was a course and she was like, oh, I want to show you guys a couple of things. Maybe she felt like we were not catching on. I don't say we're not catching on. I think it was just part of us like learning the material by seeing what we were being taught. So we definitely went into like this really cool lab, and it was so bougie. God, it was really so bougie, the lab. I mean, yeah. So we went there, and then we saw a bunch of things, a bunch of slides, and it was very interesting. I really liked lab medicine. I really did. It's etched in my memory. Actually, it really is. So yeah, I definitely give lab medicine 9.5 over 10. I loved it. I really loved it. I will say, at least this semester did not drive me crazy. I've been the least stressed, the least exhausted, and I'm just glad. Like, I'm actually glad, and I'm actually happy. So yay to this semester. I would definitely say this has been so far one of the best semesters I've had. So thank God. So yes, this basically brings us to the end of part 1 for this review. What do you think? What are you guys doing this semester? What do you think of the courses I'm doing this semester? Let me know in the comments. Please engage in the video. It helps the ministry. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you have not done that. And yes, I will see you guys in part 2.